Hi friends, today we are discussing about dynamic inventory. So this is the most popular topic when you think about Ansible in cloud because the nature of the cloud. So this is where this plays very important role. So let's see why this is so important. So if you see this is architecture we used in the first video of Ansible. So we categorize this JBoss application, Apache, Nginx, Tomcat, and this we consider as a normal some static IPs. Initially we wrote one inventory file, there we specified these IPs and all. But when you move to cloud, so these servers are dynamic in nature. So these servers they can scale up, scale down, or when you recreate or restart the server, it can get new IPs. So the identity is changed. So the IPs will change, and you don't know how many servers will be there based on the traffic you increase or decrease. So this is the advantage of cloud. So in this nature, how do you make our Ansible to work? No matter how the cloud infrastructure changes, but our Ansible should work always. So in these situations, we use a dynamic inventory where our Ansible can accept the static inventory file as well as dynamic inventory script. So in the script, like basically it connect to the cloud, get the IPs based on the tags or group, and then run the playbooks on the particular group. So okay, so this only changes here we see from the normal Ansible to here is the inventory file. So what are the use cases? Use cases can be like a one use case like a you are running some batch processing job where you want to run servers for some point of time, not always. So that will reduce the cost. So that's why you want to run only for some time. So in that case, you use Ansible to manage the configuration. So whenever you bring up the new servers, so Ansible by default knows the IPs by using inventory, and then it will configure automatically. And other case we use this Ansible dynamic inventories where your server search scales up and scales down dynamically. So that situation also we can use this Ansible to configure the servers. So in this video, I will be demonstrating how to set up this dynamic inventory in AWS. I'll be creating two more videos, one with Google Cloud and one with Azure. So let's start hands-on. So I have logged into Amazon like a web console. So here I will go into I logged in the shell also. Okay. So I just uploaded one SSH of my account so that I will consider this terminal as a controller, Ansible controller, and whatever VMs I'll create in here will be like a nodes. So I'll use this key to communicate with the nodes. So I have created a Git repo and I documented I given the step by step how do we create. So first let's create an user called Ansible and give programmatic access, give that full access of the EC2, and this is not a user will log in with the console, he just has a programmatic access like when you write any program or any APIs, so we use this kind of access. Okay, so let's go to the console, go to IAM. So let me zoom in so that you will be able to see these things. So I'll click on user. So I'll click on add user. Name I will use Ansible. So this is a programmatic access, or we can, if you are giving access to any person, we use we used to give them the access to the management console, or else if it is an API and all, then we use this kind of account. And next will be selecting the permission. So here there are, it will list all the permissions. So I want to EC2 full access. So we come here, EC2 full access, and any tags if you want to give, you can give. So that's it, I created a user. So user, we got a few user like a key and password. I'll store it this one. So we'll be need to use this one. Okay, I'll create one file. This is a key, and so I'll just store it so that I can get this later for my access and all. So okay, so a user has been created now. Now the first step is complete, and open the Cloud Shell and install the Ansible. So I already opened the Cloud Shell. Let's clear this one, and I will zoom in so that you will be able to see. Okay, let me check if I can increase the font. I will increase little more, not just. Okay, hope this will be okay. Okay, so now we have to install Ansible. So I will use pip to install Ansible. So when you install with the pip, it will not create any directory like slat is a EC, etc and Ansible directories, and it will not create. It will not download any file, default files as well. So if you use yum and all, you can do, but unfortunately this repo has been disabled in console, so we cannot install with yum, but we can use a pip to install this. So it is installing. Okay, so maybe I'll pause the video and I'll come back once installed. So installation is just completed. So it is installed the Ansible. And next step we will use. So I'll create a directory. This is not created by this pip, so I have to create directory. Okay, it's S is missing here, and I will go to tc Ansible directory. Now I will use these two to download the host file and config file. So if I list now, I should be having two files here. Yes, I have. Okay, so next will be I will edit the Ansible config file and add the SSH argument and plugin argument. So open this Ansible. We have to open with the sudo. So here let's find SSH. So here after line I will add SSH here GS. So I'm specifying the which inventory file it has to use. I mean which file for SSH authentication. So I have saved it in my home directory and our PEM file, and I will also specify which login user. So login user is EC2 user. If we were created different user different file, we can change this here. And also we have to enable the plugin, look for inventory. So here we have to enable plugin. Let me copy that content. Enable plugin EC2. So we are specifying the EC2 plugin to be enabled. So I'll just delete and paste this. And we can change inventory file also, inventory location. I will look for okay. Okay, so I will look for this. So here we have the inventory file location. Let me go to the top. Oh, okay. So here it is the inventory file default one. I can change this to this file so that it will consider this as a inventory, and I will make this as a home directory. So this much I need right now, and now I've added these two things and created. Let's create a YAML file. Feed it to home directory and create a YAML insert mode and to copy this content, insert, paste. Yeah, so here we have to replace this case here. I've already pasted in different text file. I will just copy from there. Okay, so I'll copy this and I will edit again. This is a access key I have to give here. And again I'll get this one. I'll take the secret key and again I will open this YAML and display this content. Okay, so let's clear it. Now I have done that one. So I have to run this following command to check if I am able to communicate to the EC2 API. So it should print the JSON formatted output. It will go and get all the instances. Currently there is no instance created right now in the EC2, but I'm just want to check if this API working on. Yes, it is working. So now let's go and create a few VMs. So I'm going to this here in EC2. Instances, let's create instant launch instance. I'm selecting the default one, whatever is the different number of instances. I will go for 3 instances. I don't want to add any tags and all. Port is open. 22 port is open, and I will use the existing key so that I will able to communicate with the terminal. Okay, these instances are coming up. So just in a few seconds this will be up and running. Then I will run the same inventory command again so that I should be able to list all these 3. Okay, those servers are up now. Let's run this command. So I am able to get these 3 computes which I have created. So my inventory file is working. We can run this one also. Ansible all servers module ping. So it should get all the response. So this command will ensure your key is able to authenticate with all the instances. Okay, it failed. Why it is failed? Yes. Let's read what is message. Unreachable. Okay, connecting via search warning. Private key file. Okay. Oh, the permission for key is this one. So I have to change the permission. Is to open. To be private key for the not accessible by the others. Okay. So I will change the permission to the private key file. Let's see what permission we are in currently. Okay, so I will Now we have 664 we have, so I will make it 600. And to check this one, okay, let's run the same command. Just remove the other permissions to that Ansible file. So meanwhile, I can go and get the full VM IP and try to log in. No, yeah, so this is successful now. So I'm able to access into all the 3 servers. Yes, it is working. So as ping is working, now let's run a playbook. So I'll copy the playbook which I which I have the same directory in Git repo. I'll just do duplicate. So I got that file. So now let's run Ansible playbook. And wait, it should be a root user, so I will specify become. So now it should go on all the servers, install this httpd. Once installed, we will be able to see. Okay, it is installed in the package now. Yeah, it is installed the package now. So let's open this DNS name. So we should see that httpd home page now. Okay, let's check the port inside a VM whether we have enabled the port or not. So this is the instances. Okay, VMs are running. Go to security group. Okay, that port is not there. Let's add the port 80. Add rule. Custom TCP 80 and open to all. Save the rule. And this will applicable to all the servers because it is in security group. So now if I refresh or if I open it again, I should be able to access home page. Yes, same for others also. Yeah, so with this approach we should be like we can run the Ansible playbooks and all independent of what servers are creating, and more granularly we can create a tags. We can filter that based on tag, like you want to run some place for the only DBs, you want to run some place for the, let's say, some Jenkins and all. So that kind of we can control with the tags. And so let's go and delete the VMs, so or else it will be costing. So just go and terminate this VMs, and once you terminated, and let's go to IAM and delete the user which we have created. Yes, this user we can delete. Okay, this user also deleted.